Hello, this is Tim Law with Planet Forward Coaching, always encouraging your self-reliance. If you'll develop a marketable skill, chase that marketable skill with a good solid work ethic, develop some people skills, go the extra mile. You'll be amazed at what you can accomplish in this country. Big thank you to almost 400 and over 470 people who subscribed to this channel, Planet Forward Coaching. If you haven't already, please do so. I'd appreciate it. I have a guy that I met. I think I first met him as a ninth grader back in the day up at Hancock Central School. Phenomenal sense of humor, a great musician, all-around great guy. My good friend Dave Figura. So Dave, welcome. Tell us a little bit about yourself and let's roll.
Well, thanks for having me, Tim. Currently, I operate DNF Brass and Woodwind. It's a ma and pa type music shop here in Honesdale. And our business includes renting instruments, selling instruments, repairs on instruments, lessons, and I also still gig, if you will, play out on the weekends with friends and you know, different bands and stuff like that. So
Sure.
that's a little bit about the story. Here we are in Honesdale, and of course I grew up.
What's the address, Dave?
It's 627-2 Main Street, Honesdale.
Okay.
So
how,
right
how,
on Main
long,
Street.
how long have you had it?
At this location, I believe I've been here about, oh my gosh, at least 10 years here, but I had another location for about 8 years somewhere else, but still in Honesdale.
Good. Good. Excellent. Excellent. And what got you involved with music, Dave, when you were when you were first coming up there and everything?
Okay, well, to take it back quite a few years, my dad played the drums on the weekends up around Northern Wayne County, and my mother was a private dance teacher, and she had a barrel full of records that we would play at the house. So music has always been around the family.
Sure.
And when I was in grade school, we had a music teacher that came from Hancock, and I picked up the trumpet. I learned trumpet from Mrs. Tinklepaw from Hancock. And then, of course, when I went to high school, joined the high school marching band and the jazz band. And for a small school, we actually had an orchestra. So I just kind of, it was like a fish to water. I felt it was always in my blood somehow, and yeah, I couldn't shake it.
Well, you always had the passion for it, Dave. That's for sure. Now you got a unique picture back there over your right shoulder that you and I off camera said that we'd like to, just chat a little bit about. If you could, bring us up to speed with that. I thought that was kind of a cool story and something to share here. And so please do so.
Certainly. With our private students, a big part of that is wanting them to play publicly, and we don't say it's mandatory that they do that. However, when they're ready, we totally encourage that. And each Christmas time or holiday season, if you will, we get our group together and we learn a bunch of holiday songs and do a public presentation. There happens to be a really nice spot here in Honesdale called the Cooperage, and they have a great stage with lighting and a sound system. And this happens to be this young girl's first public performance first public performance. And she absolutely loved it. She was a little tentative at first, but once the kids do play out and get some kind of adoration, they do it for years and years.
Oh, that's super. And about how old was she when she was doing this, Dave?
I'm thinking probably 8 or 9 years old.
Really young. Yeah.
Less. Might have been younger than that.
Yeah. Well, as I said before, the picture coming up on the screen, it's a little bit blurred, which is good anyway, just because, we try to keep things a little bit anonymous there, but 8 or 9 years old. And I think you said you were going to be in the picture to help that you in there along with her, trying to help her along. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah. I told her that I would sit right beside her, and so she felt safe about her performance, and that works out. Sometimes I recommend to the parents or whatever, just have the kids sit behind me if they're worried about anything about their performance. And so they do. And after, like I said, after they have their first public performance and realize that even if they made one or two boo-boos, it's no big deal. And they just absolutely love to play publicly after that. So it gets them over their initial jitters. And
Sure,
it's a big part of teaching, as far as private teaching goes. Get them out in public. And unfortunately, with the COVID pandemic, we haven't been able to do so because we also have our students perform at nursing homes and those kind of settings. It's very low pressure situation for them to get once again some kind of public performance.
Oh, that's wonderful. What now, Dave, you did mention as far as your mom and dad were concerned, who were some of your other role models as far as music or life or whatever that you can kind of look back on as far as had an influence on you?
Certainly, a lot of the teachers through Preston and Preston Elementary School, and also Hancock. Outside of yourself, which I really enjoyed our debates that we would have, like on some national issues in your history class. Henry Nyberg was a very big influence because not only was he a great science teacher, but he also played. He played guitar. He taught myself and some of my friends our first guitar chords. And actually, I wound up playing in his band after I graduated high school. So, and the music teachers, Paul Spiewak was one. Mrs. Tinklepaw was my first teacher in Preston on trumpet. Paul Spiewak was a great musician, great teacher, and a guy by the name of Howard Stover as well. Elaine Garrison, who we had in orchestra, and I went on to college, so I have a whole bunch of other college teachers that were a big influence too.
Sure. What college did you go to, Dave?
Mansfield University.
Okay.
I have to give a shout out to Coach Smith too, because he was very instrumental in taking a 125-year-old, 125-pound kid and really creating a lot of confidence because I played football.
Sure.
125-pound kids usually don't do well without some kind of good instruction and motivation. And Coach Smith really helped me out there too.
Yeah. Walt's a great guy, and Henry was a great guy. I was very sad to hear about his passing. He was a great friend of mine up there at school. Certainly had a very gregarious, loud sense of humor too. Knew Henry was around, but just the way he would laugh. You could hear him all the way down the hallway laughing. He had a great sense of humor. Wonderful, wonderful guy for sure. Definitely. Yeah. And so, Dave, as far as we talk about some of your role models and that type of thing, what advice would you give to younger people? I always like to ask this question because you've obviously, phenomenal work ethic. You got involved with something that's certainly your passion and everything. What advice would you give to younger people, that are coming up as far as, playing instruments or the love of music or that kind of thing?
Okay, attitude. Attitude is one of the biggest things. To have a good positive attitude and a can-do attitude, tenacity, good work ethic. There'll be times, especially in the music industry, where it's very tricky, where you might question, why am I doing this? But if you have a true passion for it, you're not going to let go. But yeah, good work ethic. Keep your mind open. Don't shut your mind to different types of music. Keep your mind open to different teachers' ideas about how they go about teaching music as well. You can learn something from everybody.
Yeah, very well said. Very well said, David. Absolutely. Well, Dave, this has been awesome. Any last second thoughts that you'd like to give here? And can you hang for a couple minutes after we get finished here?
Sure. Thanks for having me. The last 2 years have been a little bit tough with COVID, especially in what we consider a non-essential business. but you find ways to get through it, and we have. So I thank you for the time. Our shop is open for rentals, repairs, lessons, and also hit me up if you're looking for a band, to play a wedding or a gig somehow. I'd be
Sure,
happy
sure.
to help.
Well,
Yes.
and let's go one better, Dave. When we're done with this, please forward me, obviously your name of the business, the address, a phone number. We'll put that right at the very top of this shot here that we have, regarding this interview. Okay, so we can put it right up there front and center for you.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great to speak with you, Tim.
Awesome as always, Dave. As I say, you and I go back a lot of years, and it's really something that being able to reconnect like this, I'm trying to actually get in touch with more people as far as Hancock, Northeast Pennsylvania, that type of thing. I did a good one on Robbie Flynn's older brother, Kevin Flynn, a couple of weeks ago. That came out really well.
Okay, I haven't seen that one yet, but I gotta check that out.
Yeah, check it out. Kevin was excellent. He's like a geological engineer, and you talk about a work ethic. Growing up on a dairy farm, I don't have to tell you how hard work that is. That's for sure.
I know the Flynns very well. Yes,
absolutely. Well, look, anybody have any ideas that have a good story to tell that could help teens or young adults? Please pass it on, Dave. Okay.
Okay. Now.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks, Dave. This has been fantastic.
All right. Thank you, Tim.